Divine Revelations, the miraculous cost of blind faith revealed over 40 days of prophetic prayer. In the heart of a quaint English town, a divine whisper danced through the air, carrying the weight of hope, love, and unimaginable miracles. Mary, a devoted mother, knelt by her children, hands clasped tightly together, enveloped in the sacred sanctum of her living room, once echoing with laughter, now overshadowed by sorrow. Her beloved husband David lay gravely ill, and despair threatened to swallow them whole. Then, like a burst of sunlight breaking through the heaviest clouds, Pastor John sensed the stirring of something extraordinary, the call to a transformative journey of prayer that could change everything. As the pastor spoke, a palpable energy swirled in the room. "Embrace this 40-day prayer journey, dear Mary," he urged, eyes gleaming with divine certainty. "Power, hope, and miracles await you." Her heart trembled as she nodded, not fully grasping the trials ahead. What she felt was a flicker of hope, igniting the spirit within her, a necessary flame in the face of impending darkness. Days turned into unyielding tests of faith. As whispers of doubt rippled through the community, casting shadows across her path, Mary clung to her resolute belief. Family members questioned her choices. Is it worth the sacrifice? What good is prayer? Yet, amidst the storm, the extraordinary began to unfold. A flower blossomed kaleidoscopically out of season in her neglected garden, a bold defiance of the natural order, whispering truth to her heart. It swayed in the golden light, calling her to unyielding faith. Then, almost as if the heavens conspired in her favor, an anonymous donation arrived on a particularly grim day, alleviating the crushing burden of medical bills, small yet profound miracles thriving in a world dimmed by despair. Before we continue, I need to tell you about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, click the bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can leave a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now, let's continue. Just when the light of hope began to warm Mary's heart, the worst came crashing in, a dark night when David's health took a turn for the worse. The air in the room thickened, and despair threatened to pull her under. Questions flooded her mind, doubts rising like shadows. Had Pastor John truly received divine guidance? As the 40th day loomed, awaited with a breathless longing, her thoughts swirled in turmoil like a churning tempest. At dawn on that decisive day, Mary gathered herself, drenched in fervor and need.
She stood before her children, her prayers echoing like angel songs, seeking not just healing for David, but the very essence of her faith. The townspeople assembled, their hearts ignited by her unwavering spirit. As she prayed with all she had, the air cracked with divine electricity. It was a moment pregnant with promise. Then, in a heartbeat, a miraculous turn unfolded like pages of an ancient scroll. David, once so frail, shifted, color returning to his face as if touched by divine hands. The awestruck crowd gasped collectively, their hearts a chorus of astonished faith. But Mary felt a stirring deeper than the miracle before her. What if her struggles meant to transcend her? What treasures lay hidden in this profound journey of faith? As she wrestled with the revelation, the atmosphere crackled with expectation, leaving both Mary and the community on the cusp of a transformative awakening, eager to discover what blessings were yet to come. As the sun rose higher, casting a golden hue over the town, Mary sensed a shift within her. It was profound yet familiar. With David's recent recovery lingering in the air, she could feel faith thickening like mist around her, a soft embrace that enveloped her worries. The doctors had been astonished, and whispers of David's miraculous improvement spread through the community like wildflowers in spring. Mary listened to the conversations surrounding her. Neighbors gathered, sharing stories of hope rekindled. "Did you see him? It's as if he has been given a second chance," they exclaimed, their eyes reflecting a renewal of belief. Her heart swelled with gratitude, yet each expression of joy felt like a gentle nudge, urging her to examine deeper the wells of faith and trust now uncovered. Days turned into a week, and although David appeared stronger, Mary discovered that miracles could present their own dilemmas. What if this healing was just a temporary reprieve? What if the weight of expectation would crush them both? The shadows of doubt danced once more at the corners of her mind, testing her. During her quiet moments, she could feel a stirring within, urging her to look beyond immediate miracles, to search for a purpose greater than just healing. She sought refuge in prayer, carving out time each day to sit in silence with her Creator. Each prayer became a gentle surrender, a letting go of her need for control. As she prayed, she began to see glimpses of a path unfurling before her, one less with answers and more with profound questions. What does it mean to have faith? Is healing merely a sign, or is there a divine purpose at play? On a particularly serene morning, a feeling washed over her, as if a soft voice whispered deep within, "Your journey is part of a greater tapestry." Those words resonated through her spirit, igniting curiosity and a thirst for understanding.
Perhaps the true miracle lay not only in David's healing, but in the revival of community spirit that followed, a resurgence of faith shared and lived. Mary rallied her neighbors, wanting to turn her focus outward. She envisioned a community revival gathering, an evening filled with prayer, worship, and storytelling, where people could come together to share their journeys of faith. "This is not just for us, it's a movement," she declared. An excited buzz filled the air as others began to volunteer, offering music, food, and encouragement. The town buzzed with anticipation, united under a shared purpose. As the evening of the gathering approached, uncertainty clawed at her heart. Would they show up? Would her attempts to reconnect with her community spark something greater? She felt the weight of their collective pain, mixing with a desire for renewal. The stakes felt higher than prayer. She had begun to realize they were all entwined in a bigger story. Then, as the sun dipped low, casting a blanket of stars over the town, the assembly gathered. Hearts pulsed with expectation, and nights thickened with unspoken prayers. Mary took her place at the front, hands trembling but firm. She opened the gathering, filled with everything she had learned in those 40 days, confident now that miracles had far-reaching effects. Just as she began to speak, she sensed something shifting in the atmosphere, a whisper of the divine. What awaited them in this sacred space? What heavenly revelations would flourish amongst them tonight? A hush settled over the crowd as a flicker of expectation danced in the air, hinting at the miraculous moments yet to unfold. Would the community embrace the call to deeper faith? Would their collective voices ring as one, resonating through the fabric of their shared journey? With bated breath, they stood on the cusp of something transformative, unaware of the waves of divine purpose ready to wash over them. Mary's heart raced as she looked over the assembled crowd. Faces lit by the soft glow of lanterns revealed not just curiosity, but a deep hunger for connection. They were here, drawn together by a whisper of hope that had ignited within them, and now she felt compelled to offer something more than words. "Welcome, everyone," she began, her voice steady as the anticipation hung thick around them. What if we dared to see beyond the miracles? What if we took a moment to contemplate the reasons behind them? Tonight, let us share not just in joy, but in the deeper understanding of our journeys together. As Mary spoke, she felt a swell of divine energy resonate through the gathering. It was palpable. A collective sigh of acknowledgement filled the air, as if spirits joined in an unspoken prayer. She could see people nodding, their hearts echoing her thoughts. Stories began to emerge. One by one, they unfolded like delicate threads weaving a tapestry of shared experience, a tapestry adorned with loss, recovery, and above all, faith.
Old Mrs. Hawthorne, her voice frail yet fierce, shared her battle with loneliness. "I thought I would fade into the shadows," she said. "But in this place, in this community, I found light again. The miracle goes beyond healing. It's the warmth of friendship I cherish." Mary's soul stirred at the truth spoken before her. The miraculous did not merely live in the great gestures, but in the quiet moments of restoration and love. Others spoke too. Young families growing from struggle spoke about the new church initiatives, how they felt supported during their hardest days. Laughter mingled with tears as the narrative unfolded,
revealing a beautiful contradiction. You could feel pain and joy coexisting in harmony. Suddenly, a small voice pierced through the gathering. It was Ben, the shy boy from down the street, who had often kept to himself. I used to think no one cared, but then I saw David get better, and I remembered the moment when we all prayed together by his side. The room went still, as every eye turned toward him, hanging on his every word. I didn't know before that we are stronger together. A silent understanding washed over them, illuminating the truth. They were like broken pottery repaired with golden seams, each crack telling a story of struggle, each piece fitting together in the grand design of their lives. As the night deepened, the atmosphere thickened with something sacred. Mary grabbed her guitar, strumming gently as soft harmonies filled the air. Together, they sang songs that spoke not of perfection, but of resilience and hope. But even in that sacred moment, a discomfort crept back into Mary's heart. Was this the crescendo, or merely the beginning? Why did she still feel a lingering heaviness threatening to overshadow their joy? The gathering began to fade into a quiet reverie, a hush settling over them. She closed her eyes, allowing her mind to swirl with the evening's energy. It was then she felt it, a whisper, clear yet gentle. There's more to be revealed. You are not finished. As the final note hung in the air, Mary wondered what awaited them in this journey of faith. What revelations still lay hidden beneath the surface of their understanding? What divine tides would come to challenge and refine their belief? With her heart brimming with questions, she looked at her neighbors, their faces reflecting the stars above, and knew they were on the brink of something greater. What further mysteries would unfold in their exploration of faith, woven together through shared stories and divine encounters? And how would they navigate the delicate balance of miracles and the calling to deeper reflection? As the first light of dawn crept into the horizon, casting a gentle glow over the gathering, Mary felt a familiar stirring in her spirit. The whispers of the night before hung in the air, echoing in her heart.
She could sense that their journey together was only beginning, that the tapestry woven through collective stories was not yet complete. "Good morning, friends," she greeted softly, her voice laced with the warmth of the rising sun. "I feel a stirring, a call to seek the deeper truths that linger just beyond our sight. Let us explore what the dawn has to share with us." A murmur of agreement spread through the crowd, igniting an atmosphere of anticipation. Eyes that had glimmered in the lantern light now opened wide with hope and curiosity, eager to uncover the divine tapestry that was unfurling before them. Mary took a moment to breathe in the crisp morning air, letting it fill her lungs and nourish her soul. She shared a prayer of gratitude, inviting everyone to close their eyes and tune in to that sacred stillness. "Let us take a moment to listen," she urged, "to feel the divine presence that surrounds us, guiding each heart in this fragile journey." As silence enveloped them, Mary sensed the subtle heartbeat of the group, each person grounded in their own experience, yet bound together by a shared yearning for something greater. It was then that she felt the weight of her earlier discomfort lift slightly, revealing a space for revelation. "Last night," she continued, her voice steady yet tender, "we spoke of miracles, but what if we also acknowledged the cost of our faith? Our belief is a journey filled with trials. What does it mean to truly step into faith when the path is laden with uncertainty?" The crowd shifted, a ripple of understanding coursing through them. She could see heads nodding in silence, faces pondering the weight of her words. Mary opened her heart, sharing her own moments of doubt and fear, recounting the times she felt like she was walking in a fog, seeking light but struggling against the shadows surrounding her. Every miracle comes with its own story. It's shaped by our struggles and the divine encounters we never saw coming. These stories teach us, transform us. Old Mrs. Hawthorne, with her twinkling eyes, leaned forward. "Aye, dear Mary, it's in the darkest hours that we often find our strength. Do not fear the journey's cost. Instead, embrace it. Each struggle polishes the soul." Inspired by her words, others began to share their own experiences, stories of loss that led to unexpected joy, moments of despair that turned to hope, and realizations that sometimes the greatest miracles were those born from their darkest hours. As they continued to share, Mary felt a divine presence enveloping the gathering, a palpable rhythm of connection threading through each story. The air buzzed with the energy of hope and unwavering faith, illuminating the truth that in embracing their struggles, they fostered a deeper understanding of their relationships and their faith. Yet, even in this unity, a new sense of urgency flickered in Mary's spirit. Why did it seem their sharing was only scratching the surface?
What greater depths were hidden away, waiting for them to uncover? The sun climbed higher, casting patterns of light through the trees that bordered the gathering. Mary felt a warm breeze flutter past, and with it, the weight of anticipation stirred anew within her heart. "We must not shy away from the deeper questions," she stated, looking around at the gathered faces. "Are we ready to challenge our understanding of faith, to allow it to reshape us, even more so during these 40 days of prophetic prayer?" A collective breath filled the air as they processed this thought, the weight of their shared quest resting heavily upon their shoulders. What was awaiting them on this path of revelation? Would they be ready to embrace what lay ahead? With curiosity now aflame, Mary invited them to ponder what it truly meant to have their faith tested. What blessings would spring forth from the struggle, from seeking deeper truths? A sense of wonder filled the air as the gathering felt the pulse of a sacred adventure beginning to take shape. And there, standing at the cusp of new understandings, a question lingered in the dawn. What was God about to reveal as they stepped boldly into this divine journey together? The sun bathed the gathering in a golden embrace, amplifying the whispers of hope that lingered among them. The hearts of those present seemed to beat as one, each pulse resonating with a profound yearning for understanding. Mary felt it too, an encouragement bubbling up within her, urging her to dig deeper, to invite others to do the same. "Let us not only ponder our struggles, but also reflect on our hopes," she encouraged, her voice a gentle call to the hearts gathered around her. "What are we yearning for during this sacred time? What do our souls long to see?" A young man named Thomas stood up, his hands trembling slightly as he spoke. "I've lost so much. My home, my family. It feels as if I'm being tested beyond measure. But amidst this loss, I crave restoration. I want to believe there is beauty to be found again." His words hung in the air, touching everyone deeply. Faces softened, eyes glistened with tears that spoke volumes of shared experiences of grief. Mary felt her heart swell with compassion, realizing this yearning was not isolated. It reverberated through the whole circle. "I feel that ache, Thomas," she acknowledged gently. "But what if our deepest pains are the very soil in which divine beauty begins to bloom? Each trial holds the promise of a new dawn." An older man, Samuel, raised his hand, his voice quaking yet resolute. "It's hard not to let despair take root, but here in this gathering, I feel an unfamiliar light, a light that dares me to hope again." A warm ripple of agreement flowed through the community. Mary took a deep breath, thankful for this openness. Every person here is a thread in this divine tapestry. Our stories intertwine, shaping our faith.
As she spoke, the sun's rays streamed through the branches above, casting shimmering patterns on the ground. It felt almost as if the very universe was in conversation with them, affirming every word spoken. Then, as if the air itself had thickened, an unexpected moment of stillness settled upon them. It was palpable. Mary could sense an invitation from the heavens, a chance to explore the sacredness of vulnerability and the strength that lay within. "Let's embrace this moment," she whispered, urging them to share their silent prayers, their deepest hopes and fears. So they sat together in the cocoon of stillness, letting thoughts drift like leaves in the wind. Each person held their breath, hearts wide open, as they listened not only to the echoes of their own souls, but to the divine whispers around them. Mary reflected back on her own struggles, those long nights filled with questions that seemed to drown her spirit. But now, standing here among them, she felt believed, not by her own strength, but by a collective tether to divine love that transcended her limitations. "This is the heart of our gathering," Mary said, feeling the swell of shared resolve. "As we share our burdens and our blessings, we will unlock the treasures hidden within. The very act of connecting can become a miraculous act of faith." Just then, little Anna, the child with bright eyes full of wonder, piped up, "Will it hurt, though?" Her question was fragile, yet everything. The gathering stirred, glancing at one another, contemplating the essence of her inquiry. "Yes, dear Anna," Mary replied gently. "Sometimes the soul's journey demands courage and transparency, but in that very space, where the pain intertwines with the love,
we might find God's tender hand guiding us toward healing. As she spoke, Mary felt an energetic shift. The air was imbued with anticipation and faith. What would be revealed as they continued their journey? What divine secrets awaited them? Would their hearts be graced with clarity amidst the messiness of life? A gentle breeze swept through the trees, adding a rustle of mystery. Each person sensed it, a deep knowing that bonded them together. Voices ready to rise, hearts poised to reveal their stories as the sacred journey deepened. What would happen when they ventured even further into faith's exploration? What further mysteries would unfold in their pursuit of this higher calling? As the gathering settled into stillness, Mary could feel the intensity of the moment growing. It was as if the space around them was alive, vibrating with divine energy, coaxing hidden fears and hopes to the surface. She closed her eyes for a moment, inhaling deeply the fragrance of the blooming wildflowers that surrounded them. It reminded her of the beauty that could emerge from unexpected places. "Let us share, my friends," Mary encouraged gently, her voice soft yet resonant. "Let's delve into the shadows, for in our shared light we may find a way forward."
Who wishes to speak? It was Samuel who stood up again, tears glistening in his eyes. "I've been carrying a weight for so long, it feels suffocating." His voice cracked, but he pressed on. "I yearn for freedom, for the chains of my past to be broken. The mistakes I've made still haunt me, and I fear their grip on my spirit." Nods of understanding rippled through the group. Mary felt her own heart echo his pain. "You are not your mistakes, Samuel. You are a beloved creation, ever capable of growth and change. Remember, light can be born from the darkest places." Little Anna, perched like a bird on her mother's lap, asked hesitantly, "What if we can't find the light? What if it stays hiding?" Mary knelt before her, meeting her gaze with tenderness. "Sometimes, dear Anna, the light is within us, waiting for our courage to shine. We are the lanterns that guide each other through darkness. The journey isn't about the constant presence of light, but about holding it high whenever we catch a glimpse." An elderly woman, Agnes, spoke up from the back, her voice steady and strong. "I have felt forgotten at times, like a leaf blown away, drifting with no purpose. I want to find my place. How do I root myself when the winds of doubt blow so fiercely?" Mary's spirit soared. "Every season of life has its purpose, Agnes. Just as the leaves fall to prepare the tree for winter, so too do we sometimes need to shed our past. You are a crucial part of this gathering, and your wisdom is a gift that inspires hope." Mary could feel the warmth of connection growing, intertwining their souls like the roots of mighty oaks. Each revelation felt sacred, a thread binding them all together. As they shared, stories unfolded of loss, heartache, longing, and undeniable hope. The sun began to dip lower in the sky, casting deeper shadows and warming their faces in golden light. Mary urged everyone to close their eyes again, inviting them into a few moments of silent prayer. Together, they created a space of reverence, each person surrendering their burdens and opening themselves to divine presence. As the silence enveloped them, she felt God's comforting embrace. It was as if the universe held their collective pain, weaving it into a fabric of redemption. In that sacred stillness, she whispered, "God, reveal your presence among us. Help us to see the path you've laid before us." Suddenly, Anna's small voice broke the silence again, filled with innocent wonder. "Can we ask God anything? Even the scary things?" "Yes," Mary smiled gently. "We can ask everything. Our questions are not just whispers in the dark. They are conversations with the divine." Then, as if the very heavens responded, a gentle wind picked up, carrying the chorus of rustling leaves and soft murmurs of the gathering. A collective breath was drawn in unison, the air thick with possibility. In that moment, Mary realized that the journey ahead would not be easy. Each person would be tested, themselves transformed as they dared to unearth their deepest fears and dreams. What answers would they find when they bravely asked those hard questions? The gathering was poised on the brink of revelation, ready to dive deeper into the mysteries of their faith. What awaited them in the shadows? Would they be prepared to face the answers wherever they led? As the golden light of dusk embraced them, Mary lifted her hands slightly, inviting the group into the sacred dance of shared prayer. "Let us breathe together," she instructed softly, drawing in the essence of hope and releasing the fears that weigh us down. The gathering mirrored her actions, a wave of humanity moving in unison, hearts opening like petals to the feeling of warmth and security. With every inhalation, Mary felt the divine presence manifest more strongly, an undeniable promise of something transformative. Suddenly, she was struck by the thought, what if they turned their gaze not only inward, but also outward? I invite you all to think of someone who may be in need of prayer. Imagine them here with us, held within this circle of light. A gentle murmur spread, and several faces lit up as names and faces danced through their minds. The connection within the group began to deepen, as though their hearts beat in one rhythm, a powerful heartbeat echoing across the landscape. Then Samuel spoke once more, his voice trembling yet resolute. "I want to pray for my brother. He's lost, caught in the storm of his own making. I want him to see the light, to break free. Can we do that together?" "Absolutely," Mary responded, her eyes shining with conviction. "Let each of us carry a prayer for Samuel's brother. We lift him up into the light of our love and faith, trusting God to step in and transform his darkness." They formed a tight circle, hands clasped, feeling the pulse of shared purpose. Mary led them in prayer, her words flowing like a stream of hope and compassion. "God, we ask you to intervene in the life of Samuel's brother. Shine your light so brightly that he cannot help but see it. Surround him with your love, break the chains of despair that bind him, and fill his heart with peace." With each word, the atmosphere thickened with a holy tenderness. Mary noticed how Samuel's tears fell freely, a soft testament to the release of burdens long carried. Agnes, moved by the unfolding moment, added her own voice. "Let us also pray for the lost souls that wander in the shadows, those who feel abandoned and alone." A chorus of agreement emerged, spirits rising together like smoke up to the heavens. As they poured their hearts out in prayers for one another, Mary sensed something beautiful blooming within the circle, a community brimming with faith, strength, and tender resilience. Little Anna, curious and bright, broke the weighty silence once more. "What happens when someone receives our prayers? Will they feel it?" Her question held a childlike innocence that melted hearts. "Yes, Anna, they will," Mary encouraged, a smile spreading across her face. "The love we send extends beyond us. It wraps around them, whispering your name, reminding them they are not forgotten." Just as she spoke, a gust of wind swept through the gathering, lifting leaves and sending a shiver of excitement across their arms. It felt like a divine affirmation, a gentle nudge from the universe, encouraging them to continue this sacred work. As the last rays of sun dipped below the horizon, the evening sky transformed into a canvas of stars. Mary felt the energy of their prayer reaching wide and deep, touching the very fabric of the universe. This was only the beginning, she could feel it in her bones. Yet amidst the awe, a quiet unease crept in. Were they truly prepared for the test of faith that awaited? What would it mean to have their prayers answered, to face the realities that lay beyond their wishes? Holding the weight of that uncertainty, Mary encouraged the group to continue praying, digging deeper with each breath. There was much yet to be revealed in this journey of faith. "Gather closer," she said, her voice full of expectancy. "Let us wait in this space of mystery, where anything can happen and hope blooms anew." The night was just beginning, and with it a thread of divine challenge shimmered in the air. What would they discover in the stillness of their faith? The questions lingered, waiting for answers to unfold. As silence draped over the gathering, the heavens opened up with a brilliant display of stars. Mary felt their smallness, yet in that moment, she also sensed their connectedness to something so much greater, a divine tapestry woven with strands of prayer, yearning, and hope. "Just feel that," she breathed out, glancing at the faces illuminated by the starlight. "The universe is listening." No one spoke, but it was as if the very air hummed with anticipation. In the stillness, Agnes turned her gaze toward the sky, her eyes glimmering with the reflection of countless stars. "Do you think our prayers are already being answered?" she asked, her voice barely a whisper. Mary nodded, her heart swelling. "Yes, Agnes,
Each prayer we send out carries energy. It moves and shifts, finding its way to those we think of, perhaps affecting lives in ways we cannot even imagine. The energy crackled with possibility. Samuel squeezed his eyes shut, his heart heavy with concern for his brother. Yet now, as they all stood together, there was a flicker of hope kindling within him, a thread of faith connecting him to God's promise. "Sometimes we must release control to truly believe," he murmured, half to himself. His vulnerability was tangible, and the group nodded in unison, their bond tightening like the grips of interlocked hands. As Mary looked around, she felt a surge of purpose flooding through her.
"Let us take a moment to listen," she said gently, beckoning everyone into a spirit of stillness. "In the silence, let us be open to what God wants to reveal to us tonight." The collective breath of the gathering formed a sacred rhythm. One by one, their thoughts began to quiet, turning their focus inward while remaining aware of one another's presence. They sought the whispers of the Spirit, the gentle guidance that often comes when the world is hushed. Suddenly, Anna's bright voice, so pure and innocent, broke the stillness. "What if God is asking us to do something too?" Mary opened her eyes at the child's insight, wisdom beyond her years. "Yes, Anna, prayer is not just about asking. It can also be about action, about faith in motion." The group began to pulse with a different kind of energy, inspired by Anna's clarity. What if their prayers were an invitation to get involved? What if faith called them to be messengers of hope, not just passive petitioners? "What if God is asking us to step out of our comfort zones?" Agnes added eagerly. "What if he wants us to reach out to those we pray for?" The excitement built, each idea sparking another. Samuel, feeling emboldened, spoke with growing passion. "I could meet my brother where he is. I could show him that love hasn't abandoned him. What if I invite him?" "Exactly," Mary interjected, unable to contain her enthusiasm. "Taking steps of faith can be answering our own prayers." As they shared thoughts of how to act on their prayers, a tangible presence enveloped them, shimmering like dew in the moonlight. Each heart felt the weight of responsibility. Their faith wasn't merely for themselves, but for the world around them. In that sacred moment, Mary saw reflections of their potential in each face, a community transformed by love and courage, ready to step into the unknown. But still, the question loomed. Were they ready for what lay ahead? With her heart racing, she sensed the pull of destiny, an invitation from God that could change lives. If we truly commit to this, it will cost us something. Are we willing to embrace that? The anticipation became palpable, heavy with promise. What awaited them was not just answers, but a journey of faith that might challenge everything they thought they knew. As the stars twinkled above, a pivotal choice loomed over the gathering, one that would reveal not just their faith, but their willingness to act upon it. Would they answer the call? Would they surrender to the unknown? The thick air of possibility hung between them, waiting with bated breath for their response. As silence wrapped around them like a comforting blanket, each member of the group felt a gentle stirring within their hearts. Mary, still looking at the night sky, felt emotions rising like the tide. They were on the brink of something extraordinary. Together, she breathed, almost as a prayer. We can be the hands and feet of God. Their eyes flickered with hope and determination. Agnes was the first to break the charged stillness, her voice steady yet filled with fervor. We must commit, each one of us. What if we dedicate the next 40 days to pray and act in ways that reflect our faith? The proposal hung in the air, painted with shining possibilities. Anna's face lit up again. 40 days is such a special number. That's how long he prepared the world with Noah, and how many days Jesus spent in the wilderness. Yes, Samuel exclaimed, hope filling his heart. What if we could come together weekly during this time to share our experiences? Maybe the burdens we bear can become lighter when we lift each other up. There was a ripple of agreement. Murmurs of excitement filled the space, building momentum. Each member felt the weight of purpose settle around them like a cloak. They were not merely individuals, but a body of believers ready to embark on a transformative journey. But it will require sacrifice, won't it? A quiet voice piped up, Mark, who usually sat at the back. His brow furrowed as he spoke. We're comfortable where we are. Change isn't easy. True, Mary responded, her gaze steady and assuring. Real faith always costs something. It calls us out of our comfort zones. Just think about the blessings that come from stepping into the unknown. In that moment, Mary caught eyes with each person, sensing the flicker of doubt and the glimmer of determination. The stars seemed to resonate with their hearts that night, twinkling with divine anticipation. "What do we have to lose?" Agnes countered gently, wrapping words in encouragement. "When we ask for God's guidance, it's like opening a door to a new realm. He is waiting for us, ready to align our steps with His purpose." As they shared, a quiet urgency brewed amongst them, fueled by the idea of transformation, not just in their lives, but in the lives of those they would touch through their commitment. Mary felt a spark deep within her spirit. Let's create a prayer circle every evening. Let's seek the divine in everything for these 40 days. If we listen closely, God will reveal His plans, both for us and for those we are meant to reach. A buzz of enthusiasm filled the air as they discussed their strategies, their ideas forming a mosaic of hope and action. Each one committed to reaching out in their own unique way, some to family, others to their communities, or even beyond. With each resolve, Mary sensed a radiant energy binding them together, much like strands of a braided cord. Indeed, they were stronger together. They would become conduits of love, channels of hope. Yet even as excitement surged, fear lurked just beneath the surface. What would this journey demand from them? Would every prayer lead to something miraculous, or would they encounter trials that would test their resolve?
As they held hands in a circle, heads bowed in quiet contemplation, one question lingered in the fragile space. Was their faith enough to carry them through the trials ahead? With hope drifting on the warm breeze and the night sky an ever-watchful witness, each heart beat in rhythm with the divine promise awaiting them. As the final prayers whispered through the stillness, everyone felt it, the undeniable presence of something greater. They were stepping into a divine adventure. What awaited them on this uncharted path? The sun rose the next morning, wrapping everything in a golden embrace, and Mary felt her heart alive with expectation. This was the dawn of endless possibilities. She had gathered her neighbors together for the journey ahead. Those 40 days were not just an exercise in faith, they were a promise of transformation, a sacred invitation to step boldly into God's purpose. As she stood before them, eager faces shining with hope, Mary knew something divine was unfolding. "Today marks the beginning," she declared, her voice resonating through the air. "Let us be vessels of love. Let our actions lead us into deeper faith." Each member of the group responded, hearts igniting with enthusiasm. They organized their first evening prayer circle, vowing to come together every night. Connections deepened. Stories flowed like the river of life, carving paths through rocky terrains, leaving behind smooth stones of experience and faith. As wheels began to turn, Mary often found herself deep in prayer. She pored over her thoughts, seeking understanding not just for her family, but also for her community. It hadn't been easy, but the night Samuel had prayed for his brother lingered in her thoughts. What if they were all praying for someone? What if they all felt that tug of love and connection? One evening during their gathering, Ben, the shy boy, surprised everyone by standing up, a light of nervous triumph in his eyes. "I want to pray for my dad. He's struggling. I know he needs the light," he confessed, his voice steadying with each word. A collective sigh surged through the room. Every heart resonated with his truth. "Let's share that prayer together," Mary said, nodding toward Ben. "Let's lift him up. Just as God has graced us, let's reach out and show him at work in Ben's life." A spirit of unity filled the gathering as the room pulsed with the sound of prayers, each voice intertwining into a mesmerizing chorus of hope, love, and expectancy. That night, it was clear, they weren't just praying for miracles, they were becoming miracles for each other. Weeks passed, and each evening crackled with energy. David continued to regain strength, and Mary's heart flourished amidst the stories of community transformation. They opened their hearts and shared their burdens, pouring them out before each other and God. Isolation turned into connection, and grief transformed into laughter that echoed through the town.
In their vulnerability, they found strength, and from their struggles emerged a passion for outreach beyond their own lives. They organized community food drives, cleaned the local park, and visited the sick. The town felt alive. A fire burned in their chests, propelling them into action. Yet one evening, as they sat together, Mary felt the weight of unease hovering over her. Fear brushed against her soul as she allowed it a moment to settle. Would the love they'd cultivated endure the tests that would surely come? Would their faith hold firm? "Let's take a moment," she initiated, gazing at her neighbors, "to reflect on the weight of our commitment. We've physically moved mountains, but we must remember that faith is often tested through trials. Are we ready for that?" Heads nodded in solemn understanding. "Let's pray for courage to face whatever lies ahead," Samuel suggested, rising to the occasion once more. Each voice joined in unified prayer, a powerful affirmation that they were in this together, strengthened by the light. Days turned to weeks, and the culmination of their efforts came with a swift wind of change. One of the nights, Ben shared, "I saw my dad light up for the first time in ages. It's as if he's waking up." The praise in the air was palpable, and hugs flew around the circle, laying down the fears of the past with every embrace. But that very night, Mary received unexpected news. Her mother had been hospitalized. The world seemed to spin, and doubt sneaked back into her heart. How could she stand strong for others when she was plunged into uncertainty herself? In the dim light of evening prayer, she struggled to articulate her fears. "My dear friends," she stammered, her voice quaking with emotion, "how can I pray for your healing when I'm drowning in my own despair?" In that moment, the room hushed and gathered around her, enveloping her in warmth. Old Mrs. Hawthorne spoke gently. "We all have seasons of doubt. Remember, Mary, it is in our weakest moments that God's strength shines the brightest." Just as she spoke those words, Mary felt an indescribable strength pulsating through her, wrapping her in divine comfort. Her fear began to lift, and hope flooded her spirit. They interceded for her mother, their prayers steaming with confidence and faith. As days continued, Mary's mother improved. Each new report was a miracle of its own. Yet Mary discovered another truth along the way. Sometimes, despite miracles entwining their lives, faith continued alongside fear. Each test, while challenging, shaped her and her community anew. At the end of the 40 days, under a canopy of twinkling stars, they held a gathering, celebrating the transformation birthed through vulnerability, prayer, and unconditional love. It was more than miraculous healings. It was the revival of spirit across their community. With hearts full, they closed out the evening, singing a song of praise that echoed over the hills. Each note lifted higher, a testament of a unified journey of faith. As the very last chord resonated, Mary caught Samuel's eye, a knowing smile exchanged between the two. They had been through a transformative storm together, and through it had found peace. "Remember this," Mary spoke softly, as if to herself. "Divine manifestation often reveals itself not just in the healing, but in the unity and purpose that we cultivate through love." They reached for one another, their hands clasping tightly in blessed connection, hearts aligned with a single purpose: to continue supporting, sharing, and growing within divine love. As the stars twinkles above, Mary knew then the sacred truth. They were forever bound together in a mission far beyond themselves. Each life touched, every fleeting prayer offered, was a glorious manifestation of faith and harmony. Their journey was far from over, since they had awakened to a greater purpose. They walked back home that night, knowing that this was just the beginning of an endless cycle of support, love, and growth. Going forth, they would carry with them the testimonies birthed in struggle, transforming fear into something beautiful, a collective story laced with divine purpose. And now, beloved viewers of this story, as you've been moved by this beautiful journey of faith, it's time for your response. You need to subscribe now to ensure you don't miss the next exclusive faith stories that will inspire your heart. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm, helping spread these testimonies of transformation far and wide. Comment below with your reactions and testimonies about the ending. Your experiences matter. And don't wait even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this manifestation of faith and love. Let's uplift each other, as true servants of God do. Your action can ignite hope and transform lives.